Happy Sunday, everybody, and welcome into today's edition of MLS Next Pro Soccer here from the beautiful city of Chicago. It is one of those summer Sundays that you just wish would never end in the Windy City. 76 degrees and a slight breeze coming in off Lake Michigan. Here's your look at the Eastern Conference standings, a very important backdrop for today's matchup. Yes, Inter Miami CF2 is already eliminated. Just 2 wins on the season, but between them and Chicago, they're the only team that has won a game so far this week. Picked up their second win of the season on Wednesday. Chicago, meanwhile, dropped their match on Tuesday to Atlanta, who jumped up to 5th by virtue of that win. Chicago 1 spot below the playoff line, 2 points behind Red Bull New York. But the big thing for Chicago right now, they only have 9 wins compared to every other team above them with at least 11. That's the first tiebreaker if they end up tied on points. So Chicago looking for a win today that would put them at 10 on the season, and a matchup against Inter Miami that they will expect to dominate. All time in 9 meetings, they have only lost once against their opponents from South Florida. That was all the way back in 2022. Let's take a look at our starting lineups. First, for Chicago under head coach Mike Matkovic, they go with a 4-4-2. First teamer Jason Shukaluk, last year's Golden Boot winner, is back in the starting lineup for the 6th time today. In his previous 5 starts this season, Chicago is 4-1, and he has scored 7 goals across those 5 matches, making him the top scorer on the team. The big change to note is in the back, where Damian Neek received a red card on Tuesday in Atlanta, so he is ineligible for this game. Napoa comes in at left wing back. Nagel fills in at center back for Chris Cups, and Borso on the right. A very attacking look from Chicago. Now let's take a look at the Inter Miami lineup. Los Aeronitos coming off their 4-2 win against New England on Wednesday at home. They only make 1 change to the starting lineup. They keep a similar 5-3-2 formation. You can expect those outside backs to get super involved going forward. Abadia, a first-team left back, had an assist against New England. And the only change is at the right wing back position, where Ortella comes into the starting lineup, a Curaçao under-20 international. He replaces Theo Vorenkamp, who is the leading assist man on the season for Inter Miami 2. So that is definitely a notable change, but they keep the core of the team the same for this trip to the Windy City. Chicago in all red today, Inter Miami traveling in the black with the gray strip across the front as we get set for kickoff here in match week 25 on MLSNextPro.com, YouTube, and of course, OneFootball. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. A piercing through ball to start the action from Inter Miami. Wow, 13 seconds in. A near chance for Saha to open the scoring. He is a player we've got our eye on, number 80 up top for Inter Miami. He has scored in both previous matches against Chicago this season. They met in the very first game of the year back on February 27th here in Chicago. Both matches, or rather that one was down in Miami. It finished 1-1, and Chicago won the penalty shootout. Then they faced off here in June on the 14th. Chicago with a 3-1 win in regular time, goals from Halut, Turdine, and Napoa. But Saha with the lone goal for Miami on both of those previous matchups this season. This is their 3rd and final meeting of the year. Diawara, the French forward, with some hold-up play. Turdine had options ahead of him. Goes out wide right for Villanueva. He's been the hottest player of late for Chicago. Borso on the overlap. Goes for the low cross. Cut out on the near side by Sloan Morrison. He will play at the left of the 3 center backs alongside Daniel Sumaya and Tyler Hall, both first-team signed players. Villanueva crafting up a nice pass for Shukaluk. Back to goal. Holds it up and goes back to Borso. Brought down on the inside by Diawara. Couldn't sort out his feet before it is cleared there by Converse. Diego Rey fancying his chances up the right sideline. Nice feet on the forward. One in Caracas, Venezuela. Diego Rey, after waiting the entire season to score his first goal, had a brace against New England, added an assist on top of that, and did it all inside his 68-minute cameo before being subbed off in the second half. It was a magnificent performance from Inter Miami CF2 down in Fort Lauderdale, taking down the number 3 ranked team in the Eastern Conference in New England heading into that match. There will be some chances down the stretch for Miami to potentially play spoiler, despite the fact that they have been eliminated from playoff contention. They're going to face the teams that are currently in 5th, 6th, 7th, 10th, and 12th in the standings. All within that bunch of teams in the East, 13 teams who are still fighting for those 8 playoff spots. So any points that Miami are able to take here down the stretch not only will do themselves some good, but could potentially help cut a couple other seasons short. Nice dribble here from Chicago. Coming off of the left, that was Milan Napoa, who is starting. We had him listed as the left back, but you can just see there how much ground he's covering. Cutting inside from the wing and fashioning a shot on his right foot. It's been a brilliant debut season for him. Most of his appearances coming off the bench. He's made 15 appearances as a substitute, but he's played in 19 of the 23 matches. The 16-year-old academy player out of Chicago. He's forced to start at left back today with Damian Neek suspended for his late red card against Atlanta. When you have Dylan Borso on one side playing right back and Napoa playing left wing back on the other side, it's going to be a very forward-thinking approach for Chicago, especially when they're able to build in possession and get those outside backs forward. It's a pirouette from Turdine. Magnificent dribbling. Fleming looking for the cross to the back post. Didn't get the correct contact. It sails high over the bar. See the wind whipping the Inter Miami shirts as they ready for this goal kick. 5 minutes in from SeatGeek Stadium in Bridgeview, Illinois. This arena will host the Leagues Cup quarterfinal between Chicago Fire and Monterrey. That game taking place on Tuesday. And then next Saturday, it'll be college football season all again, as Chicago State Cougars get their season underway. It is truly, and I can say this from experience, one of the best times of year in Chicago. Fans enjoying this one. Chance to see a couple first-team players. Shukaluk in particular has provided a lot of goals in his brief appearances with the second team this season, after making himself a household name in MLS Next Pro last year. Shukaluk recorded 20 goals in 22 appearances in 2025. Finalist for the league MVP award. That's Chase Nagel, who is the other member of the Chicago back line in a slightly unfamiliar spot today. He plays at center back alongside Jack Sandmeyer. Christopher Kupp's not available in today's squad. See Nagel fill in at right back. He's more of a natural central midfield player. Doesn't necessarily have the physical profile and size of your prototypical center back, but what he does have is great ball playing ability. very good at sniffing out plays, reading where the ball is going to go, and getting there first. I'm sure the Miami forwards, particularly Saha, who's done so well against Chicago, and Ray, who's coming off a 2-goal day against New England, will be targeting the center back Nagel, because Sandmeyer is not one to pick on. We'll see the Floridians build in their 3-back system with Matias Marine, the man in goal. Ortella finds the feet of Ray. Acevedo. Napoa. Run and support from Robert Turdine. 16-year-olds combining as Fleming spreads it out right. Diawara. Borso. Beautiful ball across the 6. Cut out by Tyler Hall. Oh, inside and out, right past Abadia, leaving him for dead. Borso plays it across. Well done from Marine to cover his near post. A couple of Chicago attackers bearing down on goal. Shukaluk still hasn't had his first glance. Had one opportunity inside the box, but his back was still to goal. You know that the chances will come for number 20. And when he gets them, he doesn't often miss. One other game going on in MLS Next Pro in this early afternoon window. That is Connecticut United on the road against Philadelphia. Right now, a big scoreline in favor of Connecticut. They're up 4-0. Connecticut well ahead of Chicago in the standings as Abadia takes it down, battles Borso, who recovered well, used his body, and is able to earn the goal kick. Just going back to that point, it will be good news for Chicago that Philadelphia is losing and suffering a bit of a blow at the moment to their goal difference. Union 2, as we speak, down in 11th place, but they've got 9 wins, same as Chicago. Nothing will be decided today, that's for sure, especially how close all these teams are. Eastern Conference has gone down to the final day each of the last 2 seasons. Playoff spot last year being decided by a single point. And the year before, it was a 4-way tie in which only one team out of the 4 missed out. Chicago desperate to go level in that win column with the teams above them. So to climb back up into the top 8, it all starts with 3 points today against Miami. Borso's left-footed switch finds Napoa in plenty of space. Wingback pushed back here is Ortella as Turdine occupies him and waits for help from Napoa. Positioning of Inter Miami's fullbacks, their wingbacks, as it were, in this 5-back system. So critical to the way that this game will be played. They've given a lot of space for the Chicago outside backs to come forward. It's really helped Chicago in the early phases of their builds, but it can hurt the other way as well if Chicago leaves those outside backs forward, and then Miami can strike quickly in the opposite direction. Finely balanced in these two dueling systems. And the wing backs is where Miami did so much of the damage against New England. You think about that 4-2 win they had on Wednesday. It looked so good in the first half an hour, where they went up 3-0. Wingbacks involved in every single goal they scored, with Vorenkamp on the right, Abadi on the left, and then in the second half, Zeltzer Zubida coming on as a substitute and scoring the 4th and final goal. He is available from the bench today as well. Clattering challenge, dueling 48s as Acevedo takes down Trip Fleming, who will need an extra second to recover here. Referee wisely stopping the game. We had the best angle at it. Between the contact and the fall, no doubt that that will shake up the Chicago captain, Trip Fleming, who plays today in his 82nd MLS Next Pro match. Debuted back in 2022 as a 17-year-old before going to play college soccer at Wisconsin. Turdine, who has started his pro career at an even younger age. This portion of the match is brought to you by Carvana. As we approach the 15-minute mark here at SeatGeek Stadium. Lovely sunny Sunday afternoon for some soccer. So far, just one shot between the two teams. Chicago have had a few more dangerous opportunities, though. A couple crosses that haven't quite connected. Long ball seeking Shukaluk. Marine will claim it and take it like a throw-in out to Ortella. Sumaya. Oh, that's a dangerous pass back to Marine, who has to slide to keep it there. Shukaluk has it! Flashed outside the post. A massive opportunity for Jason Shukaluk. Caused by a near mistake as it was played back by Morrison. Credit Marine for not only saving it off the line, but then getting right in Shukaluk's face and closing down the angle as much as he could. Still, with that being said, it's one that Shukaluk would expect to finish. A huge let-off for Inter Miami. Turdine drops the shoulder. Shukaluk trying to make right on that last miss. does some good defending for Chicago as they get it back. Edge of the box, Borso. Napoa. Hoofed clear by the Miami back line, who combined for a whopping 40 clearances on Wednesday against New England. They did generate 4 gorgeous goals, but they spent pretty much the rest of that match defending, almost the entire second half. Ended up facing 23 shots. New England had 45 touches in their box. Those 40 clearances from Miami, able to hold them out just enough. Also 10 corner kicks for New England, but just couldn't capitalize and find an extra goal. They got it back to 3-2, but were never able to equalize after going down 3-0 in the first half. So in that regard, Chicago have started well by comparison. Likewise, in Chicago's midweek match, which was on the road, an awkward 11 a.m. kickoff, East Coast time against Atlanta. They conceded twice in the first half and had to play most of that match from behind. Finished 2-1 after a late goal from Brody Williams. This Miami side is not necessarily the one that we've seen for most of the season. Marine out in no man's land. Not only does he get the first touch, but he's able to kick it long on the second before the arrival of Pineda. That was excellent work from the Miami goalkeeper. Now Borso goes past Abadia again. He's given him some real problems up that right side. Brilliant attacking displays from both sides so far. Chicago has some excellent dribblers on their team. Turdine wants to take it quickly. Referee will not allow it. He sets down the spray, and that will be where we can take this free kick. Let's take another look at that move from Borso here, working against Cheche Abadia. First team left back for Inter Miami. Borso started off as a winger in the Chicago Academy. He's a homegrown, having signed in December of 2024, and has worked his way into first team contention at right back. Got a lot of looks earlier on in the year, made his MLS debut back in March, but since the World Cup break, he's been exclusively playing for the second team. Villanueva with an ambitious free kick effort. 5 goals, 7 assists for him on the season. Most goal contributions for the second team. Here's Hall. Ray plays it around the corner. Ortella on the chase. Napoe with the pace to get back. Hagel reading the spin, able to see off Saha. Shukaluk spinning in behind, and he will be whistled for the foul. Working against 2 Inter Miami center backs. That's the area they'll have a nice benefit with their formation today, Inter Miami. They've got the 3 center backs to match up with the 2 forwards of Chicago. A couple of physical guys in Diawara and Shukaluk. They'll be well met by Hall, Sumaya, and Morrison. Still looking for our opening goal here as we approach the halfway point in this first half of action. Eastern Conference matchup between 9th place Chicago, last place Miami. An absolute must win for the home side. Napoe through the legs. Still he continues. A little bit of contact in the box, but never enough for a foul there. Good defending from Urquidy. Sandmeyer. Borso. Held up by Saha. Frustrated not to get a call there. Abadia looking for the outlets. Tracked down by Diego Rey. Keeping it consistent, not calling those touch fouls for either team. Diawara, a little sprint in behind. This portion of the match is brought to you by Wintrust. The throw-in coming out for Miami, taken by Abadia. 20-year-olds who was a part of the first ever Inter Miami CF Academy class back in 2019. Signed as a homegrown player back on April 3rd. After making his first team debut on March 14th. Shukaluk eyeing up a shot, lingered a bit too long, allowing Converse to step in. Rotated out for Borso. Hooks in with the left. Diawara looks like he could have had a leap for that, but sails over his head, and Marine able to collect it. Sidewinding kick out. Abadia tackled away by Villanueva. Sandmeyer intercepts and steps forward. Miami too haven't been able to hold much of the ball. Pretty unusual for them based on the data throughout the season, which shows their 55% average possession is second in MLS Next Pro. They have been penned in by Chicago. Still trying to create that golden opportunity. Shukaluk had the best chance of the match so far. Header from Fleming. Good cross from the far side by Turdine. And the late arriving run from the center midfield man. Just couldn't keep his header down. Nice from Chicago, showing their ability to switch up the delivery, attack from different angles. That's the key. If you are going to have a lot of the ball in the attacking half, is making sure it doesn't become too predictable. Take a couple shots from out wide, hit some early crosses. Abadia gets there first, drops Sandmeyer, shapes it up on his left! What a hit! Inter Miami in front on the road. completely against the run of play. Cesar Abadia with a moment of magic. A thunderbolt past the outstretched arms of Jason Nemo, who's had absolutely nothing to do so far in this match. And the first thanks goes straight over to Coach Rodrigo Vargas. This is a different Inter Miami team. 2 wins in their last 5. And they're continuing to look good here on the road against Chicago, seeking their first road win of the season. In a position where you would expect Chicago Fire 2 to be taking advantage of a matchup against the last place team in the East. Here's the encouraging thing for the Chicago fans out there. In the previous 8 matchups between Chicago and Inter Miami, both teams have scored in 7 out of those 8. So clean sheets are exceedingly rare in this fixture, and to a greater extent in MLS Next Pro on the whole. So I don't expect that to be the last goal of this match, but it sure was a beautiful one. Pineda and Converse getting stuck in. A bit unlucky for the Chicago man to have the whistle go against him, but a case of bad timing more than anything else. Here's Pineda again. Dipping past his man, shielding the ball well, and holding off the second challenge. That's the goal scorer, Abadia. See if the referee has anything else to say about that challenge. Sandmeyer making his case for a potential card. Happy enough to play the ball back in. Villanueva trying to use the wind to his advantage as he curled that in from deep. A little too much air under it. And that's where the wind could go from working in your favor to working against you quite quickly here on the outskirts of the Windy City in Bridgeview, Illinois. Urquidy. Now the wing back, Abadia. Little nudge from behind from Villanueva. Spotted as a foul by the referee. This portion of the match is brought to you by Hyundai. So Miami in the driver's seat so far. Abadia putting them in front in the 28th minute, giving them a first half lead just like they had against New England. Although by this point, they were about to score their 3rd goal of the first half on Wednesday night. For Chicago, it's a similar story written again from Tuesday, where they conceded twice in the first half. That ball ran out of play on the pass out from Ray towards Ortella. Seen Abadia take his moments to get forward at the left wing back spot. Ortella still pretty quiet on that right side. Again, both those guys have had so much to deal with defensively with the wingers and outside backs of Chicago staying very high up. Acevedo drawing a tough challenge, some high contact as well. He's holding his face here. Matias Acevedo, former Argentine under-17 international. See the bag of tricks that he learned growing up in the Club Atlético Lanús Academy. Or rather, Racing Club born in Lanús. Seven goals, 8 assists in 32 appearances for Racing Club's second team in Argentina. Clip forward, Saha. There's Ortella making the run in behind. As Acevedo picks it up. Matias looking for Ray. Shot from distance. Blocked by Turdine. Put his body on the line to get in the way of that one. Shukaluk thought he got the touch off of Inter Miami, but it will be a throw for the visitors. Miami has surged into control over the last couple minutes since scoring that goal. But at the time, it was completely against the run of play. Knocked off. Acevedo couldn't get there. Good defending from Villanueva. And a great pass out as well. It gets past the goalkeeper. Recovering Morrison is all by himself. He's got to be careful here. It takes no chances. Happy to send it out of play. Marin has been quite active coming out off his line. He has saved Miami on a couple of occasions. He's also created a little bit of trouble of his own at the back. That time somewhere in between the two, but no goal coming for Chicago. All about that ball out, though, from Damian Villanueva. It's a great spot. Anytime you can force the goalkeeper to come out with the weight of your pass, that means you must have hit it in a good spot in behind the back line. Turdine, creative as ever down in the corner. Couldn't get past his man. He is really one of the bright young stars coming out of the Chicago Academy. 16 years old. United States under-16 international. Romanian background. Physical development left to do for sure, but he has got a natural ability that few players possess on the ball. And his decision-making has sharpened significantly this season in MLS Next Pro. Same could be said for Borso and Villanueva. Sandmeyer through the lines for Diawara. Fleming cutting it back across. Sumaya with perfect position through the middle, playing as the anchor of those three center backs. You could see his presence really steadied Inter Miami when they were under barrage from New England on Wednesday, holding on to that lead. 19-year-old homegrown player who spent a lot of his youth in Spain before moving back to Miami and coming to the Inter Miami CF Academy. Sumaya recently signed his first team contract on July 22nd. Since then, he's made the bench 6 times in MLS and Leagues Cup action, but has not seen the field with the first team. Shukaluk. Yeah, looked offside from the start there. But he continues to knock on the door. See it once again here. The flick from Diawara. And as he's coming from the back, yeah, Sumaya knew it. Think back to what was a sliding doors moment when Marin got caught out and presented Shukaluk with a perfect sight of goal, one-on-one. He sent it just wide of the left post. That was around the 20-minute mark. And then it was the last big chance that Chicago really created in this match before Miami struck. Could have been 1-0 in favor of the hosts, and a few minutes later, they found themselves trailing. Shukaluk proving that he is still hungry. That is brilliant control. Turdine finds Shukaluk on the turn. Couldn't control his shot. But how about that move from Robert Turdine, taking the ball at full speed. Morrison got his angles right, defending the experienced center forward, forcing him into a tough look from what appeared to be a promising position. Really good stuff both ways from both teams throughout the first 38 minutes of this match. You wouldn't know it always by looking at the standings, and that's what makes this league beautiful. Young talents learning on the fly what it means to win games at the professional level, but the talent is never a question when it comes to MLS Next Pro. Talk to so many coaches around the league, and you hear about the value of being willing to take risks and make mistakes. And when it comes off, we get to see some of the best attacking football as we generate these next stars of Major League Soccer. Good example there from Borso, going for the back heel flick. Well defended by Saha. They try to throw it over the top for Shukaluk. Miami without numbers to try to play it forward to, and great counter pressure from Oscar Pineda, general in midfield. Fleming, Shukaluk, reaching around to win it back and does so cleanly. Villanueva. Turdine in the pocket. Borso, 4 red shirts to aim for. Somehow this will be the first corner of the match for either team. Enthralling first half. Lone goal from Cesar Abadia of Inter Miami. Chicago trying to equalize 5 minutes before the break. Villanueva crosses. Diawara was in position, but it smacks off his face and unable to put it towards goal. Checking over the live scores here, and hey, a little bit of life for Union 2. Still in the 78th minute there. They've pulled 2 goals back on Connecticut, who were up 4-0 in that match. Philly at home trying to mount a comeback. And that could potentially have an impact on Chicago if they were able to somehow get a point out of that match. Shukaluk taking on Morrison, getting past his man initially. Morrison fighting to get back. Great recovery, showing the speed and the strength to grapple with Shukaluk as he tried to round the corner. They were able to find Diawara at the near post on the last corner kick. We'll see what Villanueva can shape up here. Sandmeyer is on that back post. He swings and misses, and then the on-rushing Diawara couldn't connect with it. 2 opportunities for the Chicago targets inside the 18-yard box. They'll see it again here. Initial flick comes through, Sandmeyer misses, and then I think it's his miss in the end that actually throws off Diawara, who was uncertain whether or not that ball was going to get to him. So many moments in this first half that will play in the heads of the Chicago forwards when they get to that halftime break. Wonder what they could have done differently. That's a good fight from Nagel up against the imposing Diego Rey, all 6'3" of them. Nagel giving up a lot of size, filling in at center back today. He knocks it around to Milan Napoa. Makeshift back line for Chicago with Damian Neek suspended. Christopher Cups unavailable. But for those Fire supporters, be sure you don't leave the stream at halftime. We do have a really cool feature coming up with Christopher Cups, highlighting his journey with the youth national team recently. CONCACAF U20 championships taking place in Mexico this summer. Cups, one of the top prospects in the lands in terms of future potential USA national team players. Not to mention the role that he very well could have one day for the first team here in Chicago. Urquidy works it out to Acevedo. Has Turdine defending. Napoa is there as the second man. Acevedo past the first, trying to make it stick. A tie by Pineda. Diawara fights to win it back. Now he's on the move. Very good in space, Tidiane Diawara. Turdine, full sprint. Gets there before Hall. Plays it inside. Villanueva returning it to Turdine. Early cross, Shukaluk rising. Played back by Trip Fleming. Orso trying to get it back to his man on the inside. Abadia doing enough to recover. With help there from Urquidy, the defensive midfielder who has ranged across. Done a lot of hard work through this first half. Inter Miami with something to protect as we head towards the break, and we're going to get our first booking of the game just as we approach first half stoppage time. Oscar Pineda picks up the yellow card, breaking up that counter-attacking opportunity. Acevedo has taken a couple of big hits in the first half, so he will try to gather himself. That was an awkward fall. Pineda sort of landing on the back of Acevedo. Acevedo, 18 years old. Came in on loan from Racing Club and made his debut back on May 24th in the rivalry matchup against Orlando, going the full 90 minutes in that one. Did start against New England, had a goal, completed 3 dribbles, and had 7 defensive contributions as well. He's really a do-it-all guy in the middle of the park.
A yellow card has been issued to Chicago Fire 2's number 65, Oscar Pineda.
Acevedo returning to the sideline. Be interesting to see how Coach Vargas opts to handle this situation. You could give him a minute to see how he feels. The halftime break approaching quickly. And even if he does need a substitution, you might wait and see if you can get to halftime before making it, because you get a free window to make the sub at halftime. If you burn it now, you'd be down to 2 windows in the second half. It's Miami just trying to put it forward into the box. Saha has a little hit and deflects into the hands of Nemo. See if there's time for one more chance for Chicago. Remember, that foul and stoppage came right at the 45-minute mark, so we essentially have only played about 20 seconds of stoppage time that was given. Expect to play about another 90 seconds potentially. So Inter Miami is going to make the change. Alejandro Flores will come on to replace Acevedo, who just went down. Flores making his 19th appearance of the season, 20-year-old out of San Sebastian in Spain. Here he is on the chase. Expecting about 1 more minute of action here in the first half.
Substitution for Miami. Entering the game, number 79.
Chicago has dominated the proceedings. Abadia scoring against the run of play with a powerful strike from the edge of the box, as Inter Miami was able to hit on the counter. Shukaluk has been the best goal scorer this year for Chicago on his few appearances. He's had his chances, but hasn't been able to convert just yet. Ray leaves this man for dead. Diego Ray, coming off a 2-goal game on Wednesday, serves it in for Saha. And the last opportunity of the first half will go to Inter Miami from the corner. Looks like the referee will allow this to happen. He just checked his watch. The vision was there, but Sandmeyer reading it perfectly. That 6'6" frame sticks out a long leg and pokes it behind. Corner to defend for Chicago. Flores over the dead ball, just subbed into the match. Takes it low, dribbler, Villanueva clears, and that gets Chicago to the break, but Inter Miami coming out hot on the road, continuing their momentum from Wednesday's win, and they find themselves 1-0 in front at the break on a goal from Cesar Abadia Reda. So our score at the half is Miami 1, Chicago 0. Coming up in our halftime show, we'll have some player profiles, plus the upcoming schedule, and our first half highlights. All that when we return from SeatGeek Stadium.
Boys hear sentiment, flow tastes sweet like cinnamon. Open up doors, I'm a gentleman. View top floor, I'm still staying ahead of them. Running on fumes and adrenaline. Do what I do best, can rush in like a roulette. You can't name a better duet. Don't ask questions, trying to figure out what sound. Don't worry about what next, just wanna know what's next. Man, I say it so loud. Don't worry about what next, just know we got now. Oh yes, man, I say it oh so proud. Don't worry about what next, just know we got now.
Welcome back to halftime here in Chicago. Now coming up, we are going to visit with Chicago's Christopher Cupps about playing for the national team. But first, before that, let's learn another one of our great stories on the player pathway. This one includes a happy surprise when Portland's Eric Izoida recently made his MLS debut for the Timbers.
On March 22nd, the Timbers called up Timbers 2 midfielder Eric Izoida ahead of their match against the LA Galaxy. Hours later, the 18-year-old academy product was named to the starting 11, making his MLS debut.
I didn't really know if I was starting or anything. I thought maybe I'd be on the bench, I'd play, but I was kind of just waiting for it. I was getting ready. I was like with my family, just chilling at home, really. I found out in the meeting right before the game, so like an hour 20 before the game. The anthem, it's always one of my favorite parts of every game. It's always, for me, that's like the crowd is engaged, everybody. It's just really cool experience. For me, just being in the stands, that's one of the parts of the game. And now being there, being on the field, doing it, it was just a really cool experience for me.
Confidence is everything in moments like these. And from the moment he walked into the locker room, Eric felt the trust of his teammates.
They were all just saying, we trust you, we believe in you, we know you're good enough for this. They were all just really positive, telling me that just to work hard out there, to not overdo it, just get into the game and just keep going. I'd say there was the first 10 minutes, I knew I had to go simple, I had to get it out. Then after 10, 15 minutes, I knew I was settling in. I made one good ball in behind, and then after that, I was good. And then second half, it took me 5, 10 minutes to get settled in again.
Aras loses out.
In my mind, after I scored, I thought I only took 1 touch or 2 touch. I thought I just ripped it right away. It felt really good coming off the foot. In warm-ups, I had 2 really good shots as well. They both came off the post, so I was hoping it wouldn't come off the post, but it was just a really good shot. I scored, and I knew we had a little chance to get back in it, and it was just a really good moment for me.
These moments come once in a lifetime, and for Eric, having his family there to see it live was priceless.
They were just really proud. They were all like, just asking how the game was, asking all the details. They were talking to me, telling me all the stuff, how everybody was walking up to them. Everybody was saying congratulations, and even though after the loss, everybody was really happy for me. They were asking how they get our seats and how they know where we were, and I think my brother told them where they were at, and they were just really, they didn't even know they were on camera, so it was like really surprising for them.
Eric's dream of making his debut has now become a reality.
I'm really grateful for all the coaches, for all they've done. They've all done a lot for me and everybody else who's on the second team and the first team. And it's really cool seeing the talents coming out of the academy right now too.
Now, he's focused on everything that comes after it.
For me, it's to obviously break into the first team fully, hopefully get regular minutes. Those are my goals. That's one of my goals. Also getting called into the national team, keep getting called in, and then just up from there.
You've earned this opportunity through the work that you've put in, not only this season, but your entire career so far. When this tournament is over, what do you hope you've learned about yourself as a player?
I think for me, as I kind of age up, continue to go from U17 to U18 to U19 with the national team, it gets closer to playing for the senior team, and that's my goal. For me, my country is the most special level to play at. It's like there's nothing that compares to representing your country. And for me, I mean, my family is like very American, like ton of European descent and stuff, but we've been here for a while, and so I feel very passionate about my country. So opportunities like this are really special. To play, I mean, potentially to play at the Azteca could be a super surreal experience representing the US. There's like great history there. and just to represent with people that I've known from youth level, people that are Americans but play in Spain, but play across the world is an absolute honor.
The RB in, first one to the ball, the tap, saved off the line by Cups.
But I think after this tournament, it's like, I use it as a measuring stick. I have to see where I stack up, what are the things in my game that are still obvious areas of improvement, and how can I close that gap in the next 6 months before the next competition. I think that's what I've tried to do with the national team. Is there these benchmarks where I get to test myself, and this is another one where I get to test myself in a really cool environment with things on the line. It's a unique opportunity, and I'll get a new benchmark, and then I go and beat it in the next 6 months, and that'll be the goal.
The opportunity to build a professional soccer club in Long Island, to me is really unique. Number one, because I'm from New York, I'm from Queens. It's a community that I'm very familiar with, that I resonate with. Long Island has a tremendous source of pride that only Long Islanders know and feel. To do this in a place where there is such a rich soccer history, on the youth end, professionally, is also unique. We're not just launching a soccer club, we're launching a culture, we're launching a community space, we're launching a brand and a team that will make Long Island proud. The Island FC will represent, not just what's happening on the pitch, but off the pitch as well. And at the end of the day, I want to make sure that we certainly give more than we take, and that's in all parts of the organization and the club.
I came to Long Island 40 years ago now and created the very first professional coaching organization. And out of that has grown this tremendous industry of viral coaching, super clubs and companies. And this is really an end result for that. It's an opportunity through the Island FC to act as an embracing organization that really brings the island together in a significant way and propels male and female soccer to the top. This is bringing professional soccer right to the heart of Long Island, and it makes that dream a reality. They will see young Long Island players coming through and playing pro here with the Island FC and representing Long Island on that international stage.
Thanks for hanging out with us here at halftime on MLSXPro.com and OneFootball. Miami in front 1-0 on the road against Chicago. And cool look there at the feature on Chris Cups playing for the U.S. Youth National Team this summer. Definitely recommend winding back and catching that one if you stepped away here at halftime. But let's check out our upcoming schedule around MLS Next Pro. Most teams just in that range of 4 or 5, maybe 6 games left after this weekend. So there's going to be a bunch in the midweek as well as everybody tries to catch up, get on the same page in terms of games played headed down the stretch. So this is match week 26. We start on Monday with Tacoma and Sporting Kansas City. Then on Wednesday, another matchup out west as Whitecaps host LAFC 2. And then next Friday, you'll get to see Inter Miami 2 back in action at home against Atlanta as they start 4 straight matches at home. Toronto and New York City will be a massive game in terms of the Eastern Conference standings as well. So for you Chicago fans tuned in today, that one is going to be quite important. Now we'll take a look back at our first half highlights in the 1-0 lead for Inter Miami, but Chicago really was all over them at times. We'll see straight from the start, it was Milan Napoa creating danger off the left. He started at left back, and then there was this crazy moment where Marine had to save it off the line. It fell to Shukaluk, and you would have put the house on him to score from there. But it was Abadia opening the scoring for Inter Miami with that thunderbolt from the edge of the box. Turdine was very active in the first half. Another chance he sets up here for Shukaluk. who was unable to put his name on the score sheet in the first half. We're going to step aside for one more short break. We'll be back with second half kickoff right after this.
Should be a fun season of MLS Next Pro. Oh my! Pedrinho wins it!
Yeah. Boys hear sentiment. Flow tastes sweet like cinnamon. Open up doors, I'm a gentleman. View top floor, I'm still staying ahead of them. Running on fumes and adrenaline. Do what I do best. Can't rush in like a roulette. You can't name a better duet. Don't ask questions. Trying to figure out what sound. Don't worry about what next. Just wanna know what's next. Man, I say it so loud. Don't worry about what next. Just know we got now. Oh yes. Man, I say it oh so proud. Don't worry about what next. Just know we got now.
The unique energy of a Sunday night. Ideal for calm music, whispers, stargazing, reflection, and a relaxed environment. Sunday nights were made for this.
All right, second half, here we go from SeatGeek Stadium. Chicago trailing 1-0 after the first 45 minutes. Parker Johnson here with you on MLSNextPro.com and OneFootball. Thank you so much for joining us on this Sunday evening. Match week 25 as we approach the MLS Next Pro playoffs in 2026. Two halftime subs made for Chicago. You got Brody Williams coming in, and looks like Dean Bolt's up there in the center forward position. That goes along with the late first half change that Inter Miami was forced into. They brought on Flores, who tracks back here wearing number 79, and this is the halftime substitution. Brody Williams plays it back to Napoe. Williams, born in South Africa, moved to the Chicago suburbs, and then was recruited to play at the Barcelona Residency Academy in Arizona before coming back and signing his pro deal before the start of last season with the Chicago Fire second team. Here he is on the move. Villanueva. Gets it back from Bolts. Has a little slip, but he's got Borso wide of him. Curls it in himself. Man, being dragged down. It's a penalty for Chicago. And a yellow card as well for Ortella. Let's take another look at this sequence. It's all about the cross, though, from Bolts. Diawara got himself in great position on the back post. Ortella with hands all over him. He prevents Diawara from getting to the ball, and that is an easy decision for the referee, and a yellow card on top of it for Jeremy Ortella, the starting right wing back today for Miami. Just the third minute of second half action. A golden opportunity for Dylan Borso to bring Chicago Fire FC to level. Borso from the spot, right down the middle, 1-1. And a fresh game to start this second half for Chicago. They absolutely need all 3 points. Now back on level terms. As Marine dove to his right, Borso took that opportunity to stick it right down the middle. First goal of the season for Dylan Borso. And this is 12th start of the year. Canceling out that first half goal from Cesar Abadia, leaving Miami with some work to do. Even if this were to finish as a draw, it would be a pretty notable result for Miami. Their road form this season, no wins, 10 losses. They've only drawn 2 matches on the road. So it would just be the 3rd time in 13 they'd be in position to pick up any points away from home. Both their wins on the year coming in the last 5 games, both of them coming in Fort Lauderdale at Inter Miami Stadium. See if this can get Chicago back into their groove. Really dominated the opening 30 minutes or so before that Abadia goal. Williams driving at the defense. Awkward double touch clearance, goes last off Morrison and out for a Chicago corner. Lofted high to the back post. Diawara more interested in holding off his man than trying to connect with that one. Sees it trickle behind for a goal kick. Bolts has space. First time cross. Brody Williams, the left-footed strike. Skewed it. Second enticing cross from Bolts, though, since coming on at halftime. One with his right, one with his left. He's primarily a goal scorer, Dean Bolts. Does have 3 assists this season. Get in that playmaking bag. There's only been 1 shot on goal from Inter Miami in this match, and this man scored it. Abadia dancing. Bates Borso into the foul. Sumaya, long diagonal. Ortella unable to race after it. That's a little more of a comfortable position for Ortella. Naturally more of an attacking wing player. He's made made 3 appearances for the Curacao under-20 national team in CONCACAF Championship qualifiers. Bolt's picking it up again on the wing. Slides it over. Borso falls in front, off the crossbar, and in from Williams. He scores again, he scores again. After notching his first professional goal on Tuesday, Brody Williams comes on at halftime and only needs 8 minutes to score his second. The power behind Borso's shot allows the opportunity as it ricochets off the hands of Marine, then the crossbar. Williams benefits from a friendly bounce, and Chicago go in front. Hard to say they haven't deserved it. Talked about the story of Williams signing last March as a 15-year-old, earning a pro contract with the second team, and didn't get to make his debut until September. Only played once in the 2025 season, but he played the last time that they faced Inter Miami. That was his second appearance of 2026, and then back in the lineup recently against Atlanta and today, finding the score sheet in both. That goal against Atlanta came when it was already 2-0. Wasn't enough to earn any points for Chicago, but now he is in position to be the match winner today. Not if Inter Miami have something to say about it. Abadia's cross. The battle continues between he and Borso. Went at it all first half. Flores had a look to get it across for Diego Rey. Diawara holding it up. Numbers advancing in red. Williams chopping in, swerving back, has Napoe outside. Diawara stretching to reach it. High elbow. I think it was accidental from the tall Frenchman up against the shorter Hall, but that won't make it hurt any less for the Miami center back. This portion of the match is brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. All seems good to continue after that inadvertent blow to the face. Hall's one of the most experienced players you'll find at the second team level. Career that is included 77 starts in MLS Next Pro as of today. 84 appearances in all. Signed his first team contracts back in January of 2024. He's been stuck on the second team since then. Huge part of that team that in 2024 finished third in the Eastern Conference. Did lose in the first round of the playoffs, but that was the first and only playoff appearance in the history of the Inter Miami reserve team. That streak, unfortunately, set to continue this year. They are eliminated from playoff contention, but a real chance to play spoiler down the stretch. Not only today against Chicago, but the next 4 games they have coming up at home. They've got Atlanta, New York City FC, Orlando City B, and Huntsville. All teams vying for those 8 playoff spots in the East. And then on the final day of the season, they will go on the road to face Connecticut United, who are seeking to become the first independent club in MLS Next Pro history to make the playoffs in their first season in the league. Kylian Diawara, he's got Bolts through the middle, finds him! Excellent stuff from Chicago, who have lit the second half fire. 3-1 ahead on Inter Miami. Three center backs for the Herons, and nobody was there to mark Bolts, who makes the perfect back post run, and his strike partner Diawara puts it where he could not miss. 3 goals inside the first 15 minutes of the second half. Corso, Williams, and Bolts. And now we've reached the same score line as the last time these two teams met in Chicago. Inter Miami 2 has not beaten Chicago Fire FC 2 since the 2022 season, the first year of MLS Next Pro. Despite scoring first, looks like it might be headed in that direction again. But Miami has showed an ability to score in bunches. On Wednesday, they had 3 goals in the first 30 minutes against New England. That's how much time we have remaining in this match, and that's exactly the number of goals they would need to pull off a win. So nothing decided just yet. The way Chicago have been playing, fancy them if there is another goal left in this match. The biggest surprise so far really is that Shukaluk never got in on the action. He was taken off at halftime. And it's been the efforts of Bolts and Diawara as the 2 strikers that have helped break the seal on the Miami defense. What a touch that is from Milan Napoa. There's the benefit of having a winger playing at left back. Most often see it paying off in the attacking half, but every once in a while that skill set comes in handy. Being able to bring down a crossfield pass from this guy. Trip Fleming, steady as ever in the center of the park. Nemo. Villanueva sought to switch it out to the left side. It's a needless giveaway. See what Miami can do, set up in the attacking half. It does feel like they're missing that presence of Matias Acevedo, who came off injured right at the end of the first half. Flores is a great replacement, but Acevedo had a very nice game up until that point. Sumaya passing it off the referee. Inter Miami will get this ball back, but I think there's a man down for Chicago. Villanueva back to his feet, but hobbled for the time being. Tella not fast enough to track that one down. be a good spot for Inter Miami to try to press. Poe looking for the throw. And the pressure was on, but for Flores, an unlucky touch to have that go out for a goal kick instead of a throw. This portion of the match is brought to you by Carvana. High arm for Bolts. Sumaya not pleased. Second time one of the Miami center backs has been hit with a stray elbow. Early stages of the second half. Taking a look here at the live standings. I just pulled them up as we speak. Chicago up into 8th if this scoreline were to hold. Abadia saw a chance there at the near post. It was a gorgeous dribble. And we saw in the first half that he's got the power to try to find that tight of an opening. But his plant foot slipped right as he shot it, and that definitely altered the accuracy of his first post shot attempts. So Chicago in position, looking for their 10th win of the season. They would still be one game behind New York, New England, and Columbus, and Chattanooga, in fact, in the win column. But a full 3 points here would vault them above Red Bull New York. Said it before, I'll say it again. Nothing will be decided today. Always seems to go down to decision day in the East. That will be the weekend of September 20th in MLS Next Pro. Just 4 games after this left for Chicago. And again, to signal and emphasize the importance of a win here today against Inter Miami. 3 of those last 4 matches for Chicago are going to come against the current top 3 in the Eastern Conference standings. They will have to play Crown Legacy and Columbus both on the road as well. Not an easy finish for Chicago. Their most winnable game remaining is at home against Philadelphia. But likely gonna have to pick up a win against one of those top 3 teams, because I don't know if 2 wins from their last 5 matches will be enough. Urquidy goes through the lines to find Flores. Misconnection with Diego Rey. Chicago keeping a lower line of confrontation now. 2 goals to the good. Ray trying to get it back to Ortella. Be a cheap foul for Nagel. And we're hearing that a couple of Inter Miami 2 subs are ready to make their way into the match, see if they can shake things up. Some good attacking options available for Rodrigo Vargas. Nemo has it. Teenage goalkeeper. He's not often been troubled in this match. Just the 1 shot on goal for Inter Miami. Found the back of the net. Nemo, on top of being a great shot stopper, one of his standout qualities is his play with his feet. So even when he's not making a ton of saves, he has averaged 3.6 saves per match this season. His part in the build-up play, every bit as important. Williams with some space to attack. Went for the step over, but no fooling Converse. Flores. Converse went for the flick, trying to combine with his midfield partner. Chicago looking pretty solid behind the ball. But we are going to see Ido Zeltzer-Zubida, the leading goal scorer for Inter Miami 2, with 8 goals this season, prepared to come on as a substitute. Discussions among the refereeing crew. But we will get the subs here as Ortella and Abadia depart. So goal scorer off for Inter Miami. Both wingbacks replaced here at the 71-minute mark. So Zeltzer-Zubida, the Israeli forward, with 8 goals to his name this season, comes in, as does Zidane Cadets, the 16-year-olds out of Hollywood, Florida, a former USU 16 call-up. Tyler Hall taking a chance to move into the attacking zone. Napoe sees Williams streaking forward. Had one option arriving at the back post, tried to get it back to Napoe. But good defensive work from Williams just to keep that ball alive and keep it in play. Chance for Chicago to try to counter press. Broken by Inter Miami. Flores. Starting to settle into this match in midfield. Zeltzer-Zubida, first touches. Trying to link up with Diego Rey. They're pulling forwards in the form of Saha and Rey. Haven't had a lot of service in this match. That was the standout feature of their win against New England on Wednesday. Both wingbacks getting involved and creating tap-ins for Diego Rey. Somehow Borso won that ball back cleanly and then drew the foul. That was against Converse. Another look at the sequence. Watch this tackle. Sticks his foot in right on top of the ball. And Converse unable to get back to it without fouling Borso. Pineda runs over. Villanueva. And now we will get a sub for Chicago. Villanueva's last action of the match is that errant free kick. He's replaced by Harrison Bernhardt, the 17-year-old academy product out of Plainfield, Illinois.
Substitution. Chicago Fire. Entering match, number 61, Harrison Bernhardt. Exiting match, number 72, Damian Villanueva.
Morrison. Stop and go. Ray on the outside. Bodies at the back post. Retreating Sandmeyer. Delicate touch, keeping it in play with Nagel. And now Williams. Beautifully done out of the back from Chicago. Fleming. Bolts. And finally, the dots fail to connect. Sandmeyer. Bolts, after losing out, worked hard to get that back. Got in the way of Cadet. Sandmeyer wandering his way towards the midfield stripe. Pineda. A poor pass by his standards. Cadet with room in behind. Fleming defending. It's Zidane Cadet. And he slips. Much like that one we saw from Abadia, right in that same spot. And again, it bounces wide to the near post. See the frustration on his face. This portion of the match is brought to you by Allstate. Fleming. A little bit of contact on him, but won't be a second penalty of the half. And he tells Sumaya to watch his mouth. Seltzer Zubida, piercing pass. Ray going down outside the area, but Nemo got the ball. Referee making the clear signal. Jason Nemo Jr. had to get that right as Seltzer Zubida unlocked the back line with a single pass. It's a perfectly timed tackle. An awkward fall for Diego Rey. Venezuelan forward coming off of a 2-goal performance on Wednesday night. Nemo bowls it out to Pineda. Napoa. Draws in the stabbing left foot of Alejandro Flores. Throw to Chicago with just over 10 minutes left until we hit first half stoppage time. Chicago Fire FC2 trying to make it 3 straight 10-win seasons in MLS Next Pro. They've made the playoffs 3 years running, and this would potentially be a 4th. Expression of frustration from Ian Urquidy, who has seen his team's lead slip away in the second half. He receives a yellow for kicking the ball away after the foul against Inter Miami. Borso taking a whack, as we will see Joyner Montiel substitute forward. Midfielder, rather, coming in for Trip Fleming. Got through a lot of work, Fleming did. And seemed to be slowing down a little bit towards the last few minutes of this second half. So some fresh legs out there. So we take another look at the sequence for that yellow card. Urquidy, just watch it, boom. Well after the whistle had blown, and he knew exactly what he was getting himself into there. And just a sign of frustration with the way that his second half has gone. Confirmation of Urquidy's yellow. Morrison hooks in the cross, coming up from his center back position. Trying to create something for Inter Miami here as they seek a way back into the match. They scored first and then conceded 3 without reply, all within the first 15 minutes of the second half. Seltzer Zubida, flying header, rattling crossbar and post. Saha could not make it 3-3 against Chicago this season. He pressures from behind here, catching Nagel out. Shot coming from Inter Miami. Saved by Nemo. Saha has to wonder what curse the soccer gods put on him, as that header hit 2 separate posts on the way towards goal. Looked destined for the back of the net. Flores. A little bit more life now in the visitors. Urquidy. Seltzer Zubida has definitely provided a spark. Trying to create again. His pass blocked by Montiel. Diawara. Man over on the far side. So much room to hit him. They've missed Brody Williams there. Chicago will retreat. Earlier this season, talking to assistant coach Mario Baicenas, he emphasized how this young Chicago group had some trouble early on in the year, holding on to leads, managing game situations appropriately, something they have really focused on throughout the campaign and tried to improve at. Headed down across, Sandmeyer opened up on the first pass, but was able to intercept the second. As Miami throw the numbers forward to try to peg one back and make these last couple minutes nervy for Chicago. All they can do now is play the spoiler. Inter Miami, long since eliminated from playoff contention. Chicago just 4 games after this. Currently into 8th as things stand. Awkwardly off of Joyner Montiel. Miami wants the handball. Here's a look back a couple minutes ago. That chance from Saha. Look at this. Crossbar and post. Inter Miami was that close to making it 3-2.
Leaving match, number 76, the line, Napoe.
And now we'll get another sub for Chicago. Napoe has run his race. Emiliano Chavez will come on to replace him at left back for the last couple minutes of this match. 17-year-old defender out of the Chicago Academy, and critically someone who is a little bit more of a natural at that position as opposed to Napoe, who had played from the start. Damianique, the typical left back, unavailable today with red card suspension, who had been one of their standout players all season, but in particular over the last couple of games. So Napoe did a great job filling in for him. Again, Chicago trying to see this thing over the line. Hasn't always been easy this season, but they got 2-goal cushion to work with here. Converse. Sumaya. Cadet. Flores pressured. Pokes it back and gives it away to Diawara. Striding into space. They've got a 3-on-3 here, Chicago. It's Williams through the middle. It's Diawara hitting! That was a sneaky near post save from Marine. Wasn't sure if he got a hand on that, but it will be a corner. Diawara had options, and watch how Samala plays this. First steps to Diawara, then he retreats a couple of steps to make sure he can't make that pass into the middle, teasing him into a shot, but knowing that realistically he did not have the angle at the near post. That is excellent center back play in a tough position there in transition. Chicago could seal it once and for all with this corner kick opportunity. Sandmeyer tracks it down on the backside. Williams. Nagel gives it away. Some numbers left up the pitch for Chicago. They've been careful not to do that in the second half, and away goes Zeltzer Zupita. The Miami forward cuts inside. Oh, he had a chance with 3 runners there lining up for some service. And now this open match swings the other way. Sliding challenge from Urquidy to get it back to Inter Miami. Frantic finish. Zeltzer Zupita. Nagel's clearance, not far enough. Cadet darts behind. Morrison. Zeltzer Zupita closed down by 2 Chicago players. Bolts breaks away. Looking for Diawara and continuing his run, Bolts. He's there on the backside, but Diawara interested in the corner flag. Help arrives from Bernhard. Borso in possession. Calm switch of play, picking out Emiliano Chavez. He has the fresh legs to continue forward. Working with Williams on the left side. Williams steps over. Morrison goes to ground. How much is left in those Miami legs? Chicago with a early second half blitz. 3 unanswered goals after trailing 1-0 at halftime. Will be a late arrival for Inter Miami CF2 as they make 2 final changes. Gonna bring on a couple of academy players here. Mohamed Jamour will get his 2nd professional appearance, and Nassim Jenna will also come on for his 9th of the season. Intriguing young talent. He's played for the Palestine U17 team. Goal and an assist in 3 caps last November. Also eligible for Nicaragua, the United States, and Jordan on the international level. And this just his 2nd pro appearance after making his debut on July 25th for Inter Miami. Morrison runs it out of play. that will get Chicago pretty much to that 93-minute mark. A 90-minute performance to be proud of, but the goals all held off until the second half. As Chicago makes it 10 wins on the season for the third year in a row and back up into the top 8 in the East. Miami put up a strong fight. They scored first through Cheche Abadia, and a beautiful goal it was. But 3 in the second half from Borso, Williams, and Bolts get the job done for Chicago. And our man of the match is Dean Bolts of Chicago Fire FC2. Man of the match presented by Adidas. Bolts was critical. He came on as a halftime substitution for the first-team striker, Jason Shukaluk, and this is how he made the impact. First, it was a cross to Diawara, which led to the penalty kick for the opening goal for Chicago. Then he received a similar service from Diawara, tapping home the third goal that put this thing out of reach in the 59th minute. What a way to come on at halftime and really make a name for yourself in Dean Bolts. He's been a critical player in the second team this season, but he takes over for Shukaluk, and he helps Chicago secure all 3 points. Well, it's been a pleasure to have you along with us on this Sunday afternoon. For our entire MLS broadcast crew, my name is Parker Johnson, and once again, our final score is Chicago 3, Miami 1. Don't forget, you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long at MLSNextPro.com and the OneFootball app. Have a great rest of your Sunday evening, everybody.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League. Soccer.